Hey, welcome to Streaming Idiots. I'm Tom Sinclair, your chief idiot for the day. Actually, I carry that title more than just for the day, believe me. I'm really excited today. I'm not really sure why. I mean, it's not like we've released anything new and, well, a couple things, but they're not that new. I got corrected in the chat in the pre-show that something that I thought was, yeah, pretty new. They said, oh, no, that feature's been around forever. You just didn't know about it. Today we're going to talk about, well, and I'll tell you why. vMix, great software. If you don't know about vMix, go to my website, easternshorebroadcasting.com. Bottom left-hand corner, you can click a link to get a free 60-day trial of the software. It's outstanding. That's what we're using now. That's what's doing the chroma key behind us. That's what's doing the lower third here. That's what's doing this little graphic above me and some of the other features that we've got coming on. We're using vMix 4K for this production, not because we need to for this production, but we use it for other things that we do require the 4K version for. But this production could be done with the vMix HD edition. The HD is $350, but you can get all that information on my website. I'm a licensed, well, maybe not licensed. I haven't ever seen a license. I think I'm an authorized reseller for vMix, but I'm also a reseller for VidBlaster and PTZ Optics and Magewell, and we design and build custom PCs for folks that want one. In fact, in the pre-show, the part before this show, I had some slides that I showed about the inside of one of the beasts that we just built. Oh man, it was a great PC. I wanted to keep it. I didn't want to ship it off. It had an Intel 6-core processor, so it was just screaming to begin with right there. 32 gigs of RAM. An SSD main drive, a terabyte SSD for replay, a terabyte backup, of course a Blu-ray burner. Had a mammoth video card in there. vMix loves the NVIDIA series video card, 750 or higher, and this had, it was a 970 or something like that, and it was really super. And then, of course, all sorts of fans to keep the whole thing cool. Ran it through all the pressure tests, and it just floated through the pressure tests. It was great. Temperatures didn't get above 50. And it had 9 video inputs. Now 8 of them were on a Blackmagic Decklink Quad 2, and then one of them was on a Magewell Pro Capture AIO. And then had, I think, 2 HDMI outputs, 2 DVI outputs, 2 RS-232 outputs, and then, of course, all 8 of the Blackmagic inputs are also outputs, too. That's the good deal with that quad card. Anyway, it was in a big rack mount case, big shiny silver rack mount case. Just really sweet, really sweet. I tell you what, if you go back, if you watch this show on YouTube, what we do with YouTube is we're streaming live on YouTube. There's about a 12-second latency between you and me today. So, I say it 12 seconds later, you hear it. And the YouTube is recording this live show right now, and they record the pre-show and they'll record the post-show. But I will also upload later just this show. So it'll be just the show port. So if you're interested in just the show, you can watch the half-hour version that's just the show. But if you want to see some of this other exclusive stuff, you can go watch the big, full, main, unedited version that includes the pre-show and the post-show. And a lot of times there's stuff and great discussions in the pre-show and the post-show that are not part of this show. So I encourage you to, number one, I encourage you to watch live if you're watching us on YouTube after the fact. And by the way, thanks for watching, and please subscribe. If you're watching after the fact, there are 2 different versions of this show. There's just the 30-minute show, and then there's the big monster recording. The other difference between the two is the show that's being recorded by YouTube is being recorded at 720, which of course they'll transcode into 480 and 360 and 144, et cetera, et cetera. We will upload a 1080 version and then they'll transcode that to 720, 480, etc. So if you're looking for, if you want to watch me on a big 55, then you want to watch the 1080 version. Not that I'm going to look good on either one of them, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. So anyway, we had this monster PC. It's going up to Canada to run the video boards in a hockey rink and stream and do instant replay. And it's really cool, and I just hated to let it go. Oh, well, you know, maybe one day I'll get to keep something like that for myself. So that was the fire breathing. If you follow us on Twitter or Facebook, and I'd love to have you if you do, go to Eastern Shore Broadcasting, and there's a link there. We post you know, pictures and all sorts of stuff about the builds that we're making and tips and tricks and that kind of stuff. So you might enjoy that. Two things that I wanted, three things, three and a half things. Do I have enough time for all this? I think so. Let's start with the oldest stuff first, which I thought was new until Prashana corrected me a few minutes ago. vMix introduced a while back a transition function. Now remember, transitions are kind of how you switch from shot to shot. For example, I'm gonna transition using a fade from this shot to this shot. This is just a clean shot without, and I think you can see a stripe through me because I haven't got the chroma key dialed in quite right. So whoa, didn't mean to do that. That's too funny. So this is my main shot, of course. This is my regular main shot. And so anything else that I might go to, oh, let's just do this one for fun. I used a cut transition to go to that. I'm going to use a fade transition to go back. And yes, you can run that back and see that was the preliminary build of the monster PC. But there's a transition that vMix has that's called merge. And merge is really effective when you have sort of a split screen. Well, let me show you, for example. Let's go to this shot. And this is two shots. There's me over here. And then down there is a video that I'm going to play in just a minute that's a great tutorial from Tim at vMix to talk about the merge function. And so I'm going to use the merge function to go back to this shot, and we'll just go back to that with the merge function, and you can see, voila, we just sort of popped right into it. Not only that, but we can do shortcuts on that. So let's see, if I want to go to the merge, I've got a shortcut on the letter D. There we go. And then I can merge to that tutorial. I think it was the letter H. Let's see if that'll do it. Yeah, there we go. And then D will take us back here. And then I can go, does G take me back? Yeah, there we go. All right, so I've got some not that I'm really good at this stuff, but you get the idea. And it's kind of a nice way to do a transition. So we can take, we want to go to we'll go to D. And then I'll quit talking about it and I'll just show you the video. But let's go, we'll go straight to the video. And I'm actually also using the web browser function for this window right here. So this is a live window of YouTube. And I'm going to go down to the bottom and click the play button. So here we go.
Hi everyone, today in this video we're going to be looking at the merge effect in vMix. Now the merge effect is a transition that allows you to transition between a multi-view input and one of the inputs on the multi-view. So this is great for things like interviews where you can transition between a split screen of multiple cameras and then go transition to one of the individual cameras.
Yes.
Now I'll show you how to set it up. The first way is to add a virtual set multi-view. So we go to virtual sets.
I didn't know this.
Pick one of the multi-view templates down here.
This is good. Pay attention.
Then we want to set that up. So click setup and choose what you want on the top left and the bottom right. Oops, bottom right.
This is what I did earlier. It was fun.
So now if we bring that into the preview, see we've got our multi-view set up here. Okay,
look
so
familiar.
with the multi-view, you can add images or cameras or videos, but we've just chosen videos for this one here. So we're just going to stop this for now. Alright, so in order to use the merge transition, you'll need to bring up one of these inputs into the preview, and then use the merge transition to bring it across. Now, if you don't see the merge transition in the bar, you can just use the drop-down menu here, and then select merge. Now, by default, it's set at 1000 milliseconds for the duration, but we've changed to 300 to make it a little bit quicker. Okay, so in order to merge that across, I just need to click the merge transition, and as you can see, it has brought out from the multi-view into the individual input. If I want to use the other one, I just select it, and then I can merge that one over too. Okay, so you don't have to use the merge transition here. You can actually set up a shortcut. So what I want to do is go to Add, select a key here, and then the function I want to choose is Transition and Merge. So then select the duration, and then for the input I need to select which one of them I want to use. So let's just go with the flowers one, and then click OK. So what you want to do is you can set up a shortcut for each of the inputs involved in the multi-view and the multi-view itself, so you can merge between each 3 of the inputs. So now I'm going to press the D button, and it won't be in the preview, it'll go directly from the window down here straight into the output. Then if we want to transition it back, we can just hit the merge. So that's a quick way to show you how to use the merge transition with one of the multi-view virtual sets. Now I'll show you how you can set that up to use just a multi-view that you've created. As with most things in vMix, you can completely customize and create your own multi-view. What I want to do is create a merge effect between these 3 picture inputs for our Employee of the Month award. So I've already created a background image that I want to use for my multi-view, but you could use a color, you could use a video or an image or something just to create a background for your multi-view. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go to the settings and then go to the multi-view section for this particular input. Now the multi-view allows you to layer multiple inputs on a single input. So what I want to do is layer these other pictures on this input. So I go to number 1, click this guy. Now I can move it around. I can hold down Shift to drag in and drag out to resize like this. Okay, now I can also set the position specifically by going here and setting custom positions using the zoom, like so, using cropping and panning as well. Or I can use it here to drag it around. Okay, so I just need to go back to multi-view and then select the second layer, which is this guy. So there are presets for the multi-view up here, so I could select this one that will move it. However, I want to do it custom on my own, so I'm just going to select this and I'm going to move them around like so. Now I just need to add my third layer, which is this guy. Now once that's done, I can actually add this as a preset. So if I click add here, it will save it as a preset so I can use it for next time.
Ah, good.
Now once that's done, I just use the merge transition like I did previously.
There you go.
Or I could set up shortcuts like I did before. Okay, so that's how you use the merge effect within vMix. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thanks for watching.
That was pretty cool, wasn't it? I like that. I like that. You know, there's something you can learn with that kind of stuff. You have to pay attention to everything because you never know when something different might slip in there that you didn't see before. Good job, Tim. Good job, Tim. Now, let's see. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I just got distracted by something that was doing something that I didn't want it to do. So the merge function is really pretty cool. I had fun setting that up earlier, and you know, Tim does a great job with the videos, so it was a lot of fun. Excuse me. Whew, got to have some lemonade. So, according to Prashana, the merge effect did come out in version vMix version 16. We're in version 17 now, so it's not new news. But if you hadn't discovered it before, if you had it there, and you know, let's say you were going between you know, this shot, and you use the merge effect, and you're like, well, nothing happened. You know, it didn't do anything. That's because you weren't using it the right way, and you needed to have a shot more like this one so that the merge could take effect the way that you needed it to take effect. And I think it's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. And so if you're, especially if you're doing something with a client, you can really impress them with something like that. Moving right along. Don't want to get caught up in the minutia here. This past Saturday, vMix released another update to version 17. Now, I was chastised live on the vMix Funtime live show in July for referring to these periodic updates as a dot update, like dot 105, dot 106. Well, we had an update Saturday that was, we're not allowed to say dot anymore, so it was incremental. That's much easier to say than dot. It's incremental, an incremental update. So that was my little dig right there. I got that off my chest. I feel so much better. 107 came out, and 107 has got some cool stuff in it. And if you ever want to know what's in a particular update, you can go to the vMix forum, which is vmix.com. Go to support, click down, go to forums. And then in the, what tab is it? I think it's just the regular, the general discussion tab. There's always something called the vMix number, in this case 17, changelog. And so if you follow vMix on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook and you see a big picture of a log, that's their changelog. It took me 20 times to get it. So it's changelog. So in their changelog, post number 16 is about version 17 dot, can you say dot now? Dot 107. Yeah. Version 17, incremental 0, incremental 0, incremental 107. And it, the major update that the major feature that I've noticed in that one is that if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, and you have the latest video driver for that, which would be 368.81 or higher. I think 368.81 is today's latest. Well, it was 2 days ago's latest, whether it's today's latest or not. I think it was released by NVIDIA in July. If you will install that on your PC for your video card and use version dots 107 of vMix. Oh boy, now I'm going crazy with the dots. Then when you use the hardware encoder option in both the streamer and the recorder, you will get a much reduced CPU usage. For example, right now on this is my production PC, which it's nothing fancy. It is a second generation i7 quad core, the i7 2600K version. So it's overclocked just a tad, 4.2 I think, got water cooling on it to keep it cool. And 16 gigs of RAM, solid state hard drive, a NVIDIA GeForce 750 Ti graphics card, which is sort of the base, the bottom one that vMix recommends, 750 or above. And I'm streaming 720 to YouTube. I'm recording 1080, and my total CPU is, drum roll please. Oh, I need Tim's drum roll sound. My total CPU, when I look on vMix's total CPU, it says between 8 and 10%. When I look on Task Manager, it says between Well, it's not even moving. It's sitting at 13. So there's a little bit of difference between the way vMix calculates CPU use and Task Manager calculates CPU use, but who cares if it's 10 or 13? 13%. 13% streaming 720p, recording 1080p, and doing all sorts of chroma keys, and I've got 2 web browser inputs and a bunch of other stuff. This is flipping amazing. So huge thumbs up to Martin and the rest of the team for doing an outstanding job. This is amazing. I think I can't wait to try this on my dual core, my 9-year-old Dell laptop, and see what I can do with that one. In fact, I'll be doing some traveling, so I can give that a try. So vMix 17.0.0.107 is currently available. If you have purchased a vMix license in the last year, you can upgrade to it for free. Go to my website, easternshorebroadcasting.com, bottom left-hand corner. That will take you through to the link where you can download the latest, greatest. If your vMix is older than a year, you'll need to get the vMix upgrade. Anyway, it's $60. You can buy it at my website, easternshorebroadcasting.com. When you buy it, make sure you send me your vMix key, because that's how they'll know to validate it's really you, and they can upgrade you for another year. And even if you have like vMix 2, you can upgrade to vMix 17 for $60. It's amazing. It's unheard of. Yeah. So this is good stuff. So that's the incremental update 107. Good stuff. The other thing, and I'm going to read this off the website. It says added support for showing, hiding cursor when capturing displays using local desktop capture. This doesn't apply when capturing individual windows. And it fixed a bunch of bugs and some other stuff. In fact, I've got a note, I think it was from Rich, that sent me that it fixed a bug that he'd had. So that's good. So by all means, get that, update that, make sure that is working for you. If you have any questions, drop me a note, tom@easternshorebroadcasting.com, and I'll help you out on that. The other thing that's going on this week, and we're running short on time, so if you generally watch me on YouTube at 2x speed because I talk so slowly, you won't have to do that for this next section. New Tech, those are the people that created the TriCaster. Those are the people that created NDI. You've been living under a rock, you don't know about NDI. NDI allows you to send and receive high-definition video and audio over a local network. vMix is fully NDI compatible, unlike other things that just pretend to be NDI compatible because they use tools from New Tech in order to become NDI compatible. vMix is, you don't have to download anything extra for vMix to be NDI compatible. Well, now New Tech has released the ability for Adobe Creative Cloud products to be NDI compatible. So, stay with me now. So let's say you're doing an event, any event, sporting event, church event, talk show event, whatever, and you want to add a video or some graphics or something like that, and they're not done, you don't have time to render them. You can go into whatever the Adobe system is, whether it's After Effects or Premiere Pro, and there's some tweaks, and you know what? I've got a video. I've got a video that I think you might enjoy. Notice that nice merge effect there? Well, let's give this a try. And I've got to merge for this to, I think it's the K key. Let Tim tell you about this, because Tim knows more about it than I do.
Hi everyone, today in this video we're going to look at using the New Tech NDI for Adobe Creative Cloud plugin, we'll show you how you can use it in your live video production with vMix. For those that are new to NDI, it's a protocol developed by NewTek that allows you to send and receive audio and video sources over a local network. vMix allows you to send and receive NDI sources so you can connect it up to any NDI compatible device or software on your network. This includes other vMix machines, TriCasters, graphics generators, scoreboards, just to name a few. This is where the NDI Adobe plugin comes into play. With this plugin, you're able to play out directly from Adobe Creative Cloud products via NDI into your live production. This includes things like Premiere Pro and After Effects. This means that you can create videos and titles and send them to your live production without having to render and upload them. You just play back the video in your Adobe product and use that NDI source in vMix. One handy application for this in live production is being able to create dynamic titles that can be edited quickly and then played via NDI. Adobe Premiere Pro allows you to play out with an alpha channel so you can edit your live titles there and export them when needed. As it stands, you can't play out with an alpha channel through After Effects. However, what you could do is, through the playout, you can add a green background and then use a chroma key in vMix to remove the green. Okay, let's get started. First, you'll need to acquire the Adobe NDI plugin either through the watermarked free trial or through the $10 per month subscription.
Free trial.
Once you've acquired and installed the plugin, then you need to make some changes to your playback. This can be done through the Edit, Preferences, and Playback menu of Premiere Pro. You'll need to select NewTek NDI output for your audio device and for your video device, and then click OK. Now that we've got set up, it means that Adobe is going to play the playback out via NDI. Now, I'm no expert in Premiere or After Effects, so you'll have to go easy on me. Basically, what I've done here is created a new project that uses an alpha video with a lower third title. I've just downloaded this file from Video Blocks, and then I created an animated title for it.
Not bad.
I'm sure there's better ways to do this, but this is just to show you how to use this plugin.
Very effective.
One very important thing to note is that you'll need to have some empty content at the end of your video. Why is that? Well, when sending the playback, vMix will stop in the last frame's content because that's what's being sent to it via Adobe. So it's important that if you have something like a title or an overlay in a live production that you want to play all the way through and finish with a blank screen, that you need to have some empty content at the end. So just add a couple of transparent video frames at the end of your project if you need to. Now that we have our video ready in Premiere, we just need to add an NDI input into vMix. Okay, so you need to go to Add Input, NDI, and you'll see Premiere Pro here now. So what I'm going to do is just make this an overlay. So when the NDI source comes in, you'll be able to see it. So we hit play, and as you can see, it's playing in Premiere and going out to vMix. So now I can go back into Premiere and I can make changes to that particular title. So if I just remove this, close it down, we'll just bring it back to the start, and then if I bring this in now, you'll see that my changes have gone over via NDI. Now the playout rendering in Premiere is very CPU intensive, so you will need to use it on another computer, and then you can send the playback to the vMix PC via NDI. So there you have it. There's a quick tutorial on how you can use the Adobe plugin to bring in an NDI source into vMix. We showed you how to use the lower third overlay, but the same method is used in order to bring in a normal video. So if you had a full HD video that you wanted to bring in, the exact same process takes place. So if you had somebody that was working on a video production right up until the very start of your live production, they didn't have time to render it, you could use this plugin to send it directly from Premiere to your vMix production. Now if you want to use After Effects, the process is similar. You will need to go to Preferences and change the video preview to NDI so that you can play back via After Effects. As we mentioned before, there is no alpha channel support for the playback. You'd need to use a green color backdrop for the playback and then use the chroma key in vMix to take out that green if you wanted to use it. So that's how you use the NDI plugin. It's probably best if you download the free trial, try it out yourself, see if it's going to be usable in your workflow. And then if you wanted to use it, purchase it. I think it's $10 per month to use it. So if you have any questions or anything, please leave them below. And thanks for watching.
Doesn't Tim do a good job? I tell you what, he needed just a little bit of help. Anyway, that was fun. That was fun. So good job and kudos to the guys at vMix for doing number one, producing such great software, but number two, for peeling back some of the layers and helping us understand how it was going to be. Oh yeah, I should have taken a bite out of that logo. I'll think about that next time. Good idea, Giles. What else have we not talked about here today? We've got and that's NDI for the Adobe Creative Cloud products. So now, and you don't want to miss, Tim said, and I'm not sure, I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know, but with the new incremental update 107 and the super low CPU use, I don't know if you can run Adobe on the same PC that you're streaming and recording on and have it be able to do all that. Tim said in the video, recommended probably for a second PC. But it also saves having to render it. So there is some economy there. We're about out of time. Let's see. Oh, last thing I wanted to remind you, and I know this is wacky. I understand this is wacky, so just, get ready for some Tom wackiness. But we've got a deal going. If you are interested or know somebody that's interested in a PTZ camera. What's a PTZ camera? It's a robotic camera that pans, tilts, and zooms based on remote control, which actually vMix will do. If you're interested in a PTZ camera, we represent PTZ Optics. They're great cameras. They're the equivalent of the $2,000 and $3,000 Sonys and Panasonics for sub $2,000. They've got a 12x zoom. They've got a 20x zoom. They've got SDI, HDMI output, USB 3 output, LAN output, composite output. So there are lots of different choices in how to get the video out. Great little cameras. I've got one. Actually, generally it's here in the studio, but I've loaned it to a local church, and they're sort of testing it out to see if it's going to do the job for them. Sub 2,000, but we've got a special. We have negotiated with PTZ Optics. If we buy 10, we get one free. So you say, I don't need 10 cameras, Tom. Well, we're kind of forming a buyer's club, and I've got some folks that are interested if we can get up to 10. So if you're thinking, oh, wow, I'd like to get a PTZ camera, but, when I go to online to Amazon or B&H Photo, they're not going to negotiate with me. Well, here's a way. Again, we got to get a group, but if we can get a group of 10, then we can get that last one free. And what that means is I'll buy the last one, and we'll split the discount 10 different ways. So essentially everybody gets a 10% discount. So that's a pretty good deal. So buy one, buy 10, get one free. If you want to buy 11, that's fine. We can work with you. Send me a note, tom@easternshorебroadcasting.com, saying, Tom, I'm interested. We're getting close. We're getting close. I don't remember exactly what the number is. But we're either like halfway or we're almost there. I've got somebody that's kind of on the bubble as to where they're going to be. So anyway, if you're interested in that, that's available. And we do have some other PTC stuff coming up next month. That would be September, but it's not as good a deal as this. So let me know if you're interested. Now is the time. Now is the time. Okay, so we got that little bit of business done. Oh, one other last thing. Some of you remember that 6 months or so ago, I did a rant about the problems that I had when I updated my i7 2600K second generation i7 running Windows 7. When I updated that to Windows 10, all sorts of mean, nasty things started happening to me. I got really ticked off because my CPU use went like, 900% in a broadcast like this, where right now I'm doing 10%. It was definitely a Windows problem. I reverted back to Windows 7 with a fresh install. And then the day, what was it, July 29th, when the free Windows, I'm such a cheapskate, and I'm such a glutton for punishment. And I said, okay, well, we're going to update to Windows 10 again. Oh, please, Lord, let this be a good experience this time. Updated to Windows 10. Hey, it wasn't too bad. And then I thought, okay. And then the following Tuesday is when the Windows 10 anniversary update came out. And I was like, do I dare? So I went ahead and updated to the Windows 10 Anniversary Edition. And, I've had to tweak some things here and there, strip out some apps that I didn't want running, that kind of thing, update a driver or two that Windows didn't catch. But I have been very, very pleased. So I'm running right now my i7 2600K, second generation, on Windows 10 Anniversary Edition, Anniversary Update, with the NVIDIA 750 Ti graphics card, vMix 17.0.0.107, and supremely pleased today with 9, 7, 13% CPU, depending on where you look at it. This definitely gets a thumbs up for me. Now, I know there are some folks that have had some other experiences that aren't so positive, but here's some good news. So if you're on the bubble about doing it, give it a try. I mean, don't do it the morning before an event. Give yourself a week to either revert back or get things straightened out if it doesn't go right. But I'd say go for it. I'd say go for it for sure. That's it. That's all I got. If you're watching live, we would invite you to hang out for the post-show party. Tommy is bringing refreshments. He was the last one to show up that I can tell. So, and Tommy does a good job. He's right up the road in Alabama, and it's like, fried pork skins and pig's feet and chitlins and all sorts of other good kind of country southern Alabama food. Tommy will have it there. It'll be virtual, but that's okay. So watch us live sometimes. I'm Tom Sinclair. This has been Streaming Idiots. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. Go to Facebook, like us on Facebook, go to Twitter, follow us on Twitter, and you probably won't regret it because you'll learn a lot. And if nothing else, you'll get to laugh at me on occasion. So take care, have fun, see you next week. What a great show. Wow.